You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings.
My mic is muted. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharon Campbell, your Plan to Prosper show host today. I am so excited to be with you today. What a wonderful day, Tuesday. We're praying to all of our entrepreneurs out there, business owners, 9 to 5, our starters, our hobbyists, our faith-based, our community leaders. Thank you for joining us today. It is wonderful 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are inviting you into our office today. And thank you for inviting me into your home or to your job or in your car. So today we're going to have a fantastic time. We're going to talk about being a business owner and just how overwhelming it can be sometimes. And we are expecting a guest to come on, but you know what? Technology would challenge everyone. So it depends on your location, because she is in a different state. Oh, there she go. Hello, Eliza. How are you?
Nice to
We
be
can
here.
hear you. See, look at there, America. She popped in. And we are so glad you are here. I was just telling the audience about self-care. As an entrepreneur and business owner, 9 to 5, it's so important that you learn how to take care of yourself, because owning a company sometimes be a challenge. I don't like to use the word stressful. Oh my goodness. It's such a negative word. I say it can be a challenge, it can be a hiccup, it could be a pebble in the road, but never those negative words. And I learned that by Eliza. So Eliza, please introduce yourself, your company, and help us fill in all our positive so we can go back tonight and tomorrow thinking different.
Well, thank you for having me today, Sharon. It's such a pleasure and a joy to be here. I am Eliza Carter, and I am a master breathologist, an emotional well-being practitioner of emotional freedom techniques and tools. I've been doing this over 12 years, and I have a background in counseling of over 30 years and reproductive health and HIV and pre and post-test counseling and a phlebotomist. So I literally have an innate gift to counsel and coach. And I'm so glad to be here because, you know, as much positive as we want to be, it's a level of elevation you have to get to understand that negative things are always going to show up. Things that stretch you, draw you out, and stress you. Because anxiety is right now the number one issue with business owners, with those of us who actually were blessed to come through what I call the pandemic. And so therefore, you have to have emotional freedom tools to learn how to process through the stress, learn how to process through whatever is causing you the dis-ease or the malfunction, as we call it, or experiencing the burnout. The burnout is very, very prevalent amongst us too. So, you know, if we don't have the tools in place, learning how to what I call push your refresh button to learn how to disconnect from all the outside forces that come to pressure you, because pressure is not always bad. That's what you were talking about from the beginning. Pressure is not always bad, but if you don't have the tools in your toolkit to pull out when you need it, like breath work, meditation, tension relief exercises, and some secret sauce that the breathing experience holds, because I am the CEO and founder of the Breathing Experience Academy. I have courses that will shift and change how you treat yourself, how you prioritize you, and put you on your own list to say, you know what, today and every day I make time for me. I know the times to make time for me, because a lot of us get up and pray, but we're not prepared when those big issues come in the middle of the day or even the early part of the morning, how to shift and say, you know what? I know how to push that refresh button because I know how to go to this tool, that tool, that tool, because you've done the pre-work. So if you don't do the pre-work, you stay in the level of thinking that I'm going to do breath work because I'm stressed. But no, when you do it as a everyday practice, guess what happens? When the stress shows up, the challenging situation shows up, you're no longer as connected to have the emotional responses, because what? You did the pre-work, because you have some tools in your toolkit because you got it from the Breathing Experience Academy, So you're doing a soul care system, and you understand now that it's better to feel good more, to be able to know what to do than not know what to do, because you've gone to maybe this organization or this retreat and that retreat, and it only lasted for a period of time, but you don't have a sustainable tool because what? You've not done the pre-work. You've not made it a part of your activities of your daily life, because you've not taken steps enough to say, you know what? I got high blood pressure. I got diabetes, because these are some of the diseases that are stress related. And the only way, Sharon, to get rid of them is you have to have a daily practice in place. And that's what I love about you. That's what I love about you, is because being connected to you, I have to say, and being a part of the sister circle, and knowing, amongst business owners, that everybody has something different that we do, but coming together and making us see that I'm going to use your services, you're going to use my services. So you know what? We have everything we need in-house. And that's what's so beautiful about coming in sister circles and recognizing that we need each other, because we all have different gifts, talents, and core strengths. But if you don't, once again, have any tools in your toolkit when it comes to stress, anxiety, and dis-ease, then you're going to continue down that path. And that's not going to be the healthy lifestyle that you want to have, that you really do deserve. You deserve to be healthy. And what we say, health is your wealth. When you get older, you understand that health is your wealth.
It is, Eliza. It is. You made two key points that I want to touch on. First, before COVID, we was going along, and the word was like, yes, we going along. Bam, COVID. Then we went through that, but now we're coming out of something, and we're like, we are different than we was before COVID.
Yes.
Because that said, oh, wow, I got to slow down. I'm experiencing so much. And now we're coming back to what we call the norm. And our body, our attention, we're not sure how to shift it. We're so used to being home. We're so used to having this time. We're so used to this. And now it's different. It is okay. Okay, we're going to work with you, starting with coming in 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days. And you were like, no. I need this mental time. And so now corporations, even your own business as business owners, we are just trying to figure out. We was on zone. Now our clients said, hey, that's over with. We need you to come into the office, and we need to work with the team. We need to do this. And because we zoned out, we are mentally zoned out. We want to be people. And now guess what? We have all of these emotions. And that's what I love about your company, because you show us how to take all of this, like I say, negative, all these waves coming in that's damaging our body, that's taking control of our life. And now you are saying you can redirect it to be better. And so I think that everyone needs that balance, but so many people don't know where to go to get it from. Where did I go get this from? Well, tell us about your classes, your courses that I can download, I can get to.
Yes, right now I'm concentrating in the anger world because I have a lot of
Okay.
clients come to me who have this anger that seems like it shows up at any time because they don't know how to process through the anger. And the thing about anger, it takes the body into the fight, flight, and freeze syndrome consistently. And
Yeah.
then the couple with that is the racism that's on the rise, And so I just put together a course on anger and racism because it was
Oh,
requested, and it will be released by the end of this month. And right now, I currently have in place this wonderful course called the Soul Care System, the Art of Breathology. When you
okay.
understand that every day you
Okay.
get up and you are breathing, guess what? That's the first miracle that we have of the day. But when you use your breath intentionally to release the toxins and the tension and the frustration, as soon as you wake up in the morning and you make it a daily practice, and this is the thing, I tell clients all the time, do not go on the internet and just take YouTube and start doing the breath work
Uh,
because it may actually cause some other issues because you're not understanding that you can't just do everything everybody tells you to do. You need to have a system. You need to understand the art, the physiology about it. You need to understand that this particular breath works for this particular situation, and this particular breath
mhm.
works for that particular situation. And you
Yeah.
can only learn that in a course. You can't learn it from getting on YouTube. So
You can't. You
no,
cannot.
you cannot.
Cannot.
And my other course is on hot flashes because we've entered into a higher, beautiful part of our lives, which we
Mhm.
call the second quarter, going into the third quarter, and you know that you hit perimenopausal or you're menopausal. It's
Uh,
time to start dealing with those hot flashes because the hot flashes take you up into a tailspin. A lot of times you don't even know that you
right.
have the ability to get out of a hot flash without having to take all these hormone medications that create imbalances later on. Because remember this, medications always have side effects. And we don't know if they're short
Always.
term or long term. And that takes me back to my
Mhm.
own story. I was on high blood pressure medications back in 2009. And so it was so deep because I felt the side effects immediately. And the doctor's trying to convince me, Eliza, you're going to be on these pills for the rest of your life. And I'm like, oh no, healing is my right. That's my
Okay.
God-given right. I believe it. I've
Mhm.
experienced healing before, and
Mhm.
I'm going to
Mhm.
settle to be on medications that I
Mhm.
know are going to affect my organs down the line. So guess what I began to do? I did the
That's
research. I did the research and breathwork came up. Although breathwork seems easy, if you're not consistent, you will not have the benefits of healing in the body and the mind because we have all this mucus, all this calcification going on. We have acidosis and carbon dioxide sitting inside the body. We're business owners. We're career women and
right.
men. You know what I mean? We're wives, we're husbands, and we're caregivers. Oh my gosh. And then we're parents. And then some of us
Just
are
cook.
grandparents. And we find ourselves saying to ourselves, how do I get out of this mindset? These emotional roller coaster rides that I go on every day. It's simply a plan. But you have to be willing
Right.
to do the work. And this is the blessing. The work gets easier and easier and easier. Because when you say, you know what, somebody just cussed me out on the road, and you decide that you're not going to cuss them back, you decide that you're going to take a few deep breaths and release it and let it go. Because think about this,
Let it
something
go.
happened really recently. Two women got into an altercation in the parking lot at the grocery store. One woman spit on the other woman, and that woman sent her in such a tizzy. She came back and she shot her. This stuff should not be happening. But this is the state of the world. Because although we were pushed into the homes, most of us did not come out with any new skills, no life skills to be able to process once again through the agony, the stress, the pressure. And this pressure is actually showing up now because people are just exploding all over the place. And we as business owners, it's time for us to take a higher level of control. Because if you want to leave a legacy for your children's children, then you better have some self-care practices in place that are effective. that allow you to heal. Because the body was designed to heal
Right.
itself. But you got to have the know-how. You got to have the right tools. And
Yes.
I have the right tools at the breathing
Mhm.
experience academy. And I only say that because
Mhm.
I said it because I worked with several clients throughout the years. I've worked with the school teachers. I've worked with the human traffic population, court approved by the city of Philadelphia to work with them. I currently work with C-level and high-level achieving women right now because they're some of the ones who can show up so beautiful and perfect and well put together, but at night can't sleep, on high blood pressure medications, can't process through the stress, but still looking like they're doing fantastic, but they're running to the doctors. The doctor says 75% of the doctor's visits are because of stress. When are you going to take a hold of your stress? Because it's been taking
Difficult.
long
And
and
so I hope that all of y'all can hear myself as we want to bring her back on. She's traveling. But as she was saying is we have to take care of ourselves. Okay, there she go.
we do.
Okay.
We have to.
And I'm so glad you said that because you think about all of the when people want to go on a diet, but it's not working, it's not being consistent. What you would say about consistency. So I have found out now water. I've always loved them. I love going to sauna. Going, I love going to the swimming. I love going to the aquariums, the whirlpool.
I'm not hearing you. It sounds like we're still in the show, and I'm not hearing Sharon right now, but I'll say this to you. We're in such a precious time, and we're saying we're getting back to the normalness of life. We will never get back to the same norms because COVID is back on the rise again. People have lung diseases because when we put the mask on, guess what? It slowed down the rhythm of the breath to flow through every organ, your bloodstream, through your heart. And so now a lot of people are carrying around irregularities. And if you're not going to get checked out with the doctor, you don't know what's really going on with the body. And if you're ignoring your body, because your body is always telling you something to pay attention to. And this, if you continue to ignore it, it does not change the fact that it's progressing. So get to the doctor, get a diagnosis. Come work with me and understand this. I have tailored plans specifically for you. Yes, you can take a course. You can bring me to your home. I'll train your whole family. But we've got to get to a space now. We process through the stress, have the tools in place if we want a high quality of life. If we want to be able to understand that what you do today to take care of your body and your mind will benefit you tomorrow, the next year, the year after that, the year after that. Because breathing, what? It's the chief cleansing tool of our bodies. It goes and does what it wants to do. Guess why? Because when God breathed the breath of life into us, that was one breath. We're living off that same breath all over the world. And that's the power of our breath.
Mm-hmm.
She's back.
Yeah, I tell you, technology. And what I was sharing with the audience was that I make a practice to every as much as possible. I would love to do it every day, but what I had to do is set my mind to say, no matter what you're doing, stop and go do that because that's going to help you. And so I'm glad that you said something about self-care and making a practice of it. I will have Eliza be back on.
So we're having some difficulties. And that's the part of life I'm talking about. When something shows up and you don't know how to handle it, it's simply because you don't have the right tools in place. It's simply because you've not made your health, your overall wealth, It's because you don't understand your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. And I explain this in my soul care system. When we get to a space where the same old things that used to stress you out no longer have that same stronghold on you, you know you are elevating. You know you are progressing. You know you are accomplishing new ways of treating your mind and treating your body. Think about this right now. When was the last time or the ever time you've ever put your hand over your heart and said, thank you? Thank you for my heart, that it beats to the rhythm of life, that my blood pressure is 120 over 80 or 130 over 90, depending upon my age, and that my body feels good, that my body is blessed, my body is whole. Have you ever just sat and blessed your body? We bless this person, we bless this situation, we call ourselves blessed, but we don't take time to simply bless our bodies. And those are some of the secret sauces that I share in the course. You learn simply how to get rid of anger, because when you don't have a tool to shift out of an anger situation that has you angry, and we have a lot of situations that keep us angry. We push the button on the remote and turn the TV on, and guess what happens? There's a situation going on in that TV, and it immediately grabs a hold of your heart, because your heart has 40,000 electromagnetic forces in it. And as soon as you get upset, it hits the heart, then it goes to the mind, then it goes and travels throughout the body. And then it gets stuck in the tissue. It gets stuck in the organs. And this is how sickness and disease is created. This is your time. Because when you hear something that resonates with you, it's time to take action. Because when you don't take action and you miss your opportunity, you can't be upset with anybody but yourself. But it's time, the older we get, we should have more skills where we don't get upset about the same things. And when new things show, we know how to cope. We know how to process. We know how to make the necessary shifts, that we don't have the same entanglements with people, places, and things on the same level. It's this time of elevation. It's time to elevate your mind. It's time to elevate your body. It's time to lose the excessive weight. Breath, a consistent practice will help you lose the weight. It will break down the fat on its own. It's amazing when you learn that it's time for you to go to the next levels of happiness and reliving a fulfilled life, not just talking about it, not just staying on the same level, but elevating. You got to have what your professional support system and your personal support system. And the Breathing Experience Academy is your personal and professional support system. But also, Sharon alone is your professional support system, because she knows how to coach you into high levels of achievement. That's why I'm connected to Sharon. She has a drive that I simply love. The ladies that we're connected to, we have a drive that continues to give us the professional support so that we know that what we've come to do and our purpose, we know how to do it. We know that we are continuing to experience the higher levels of our goals and our aspirations, because we have plans in place. And when you have a plan and work the plan, you're going to have success. But when you don't have a plan in place, you can't expect to have success. Because I can ask you a question right now. How did you get out of that stressful situation last week? And somebody might say, how did I get out of it this morning? And many of you would not even be able to tell me how, because you don't have a practice in place to do so. So how many times do you have to go through the same thing over and over again to wonder, when will I make a change? It's time for you to become the change you want to be, you want to see, you want to share with those around you. Because most of you are the matriarchs or the patriarchs of your family. So everybody comes to you for everything. And we wonder why we're stressed, have anxiety, because PTSD is the number one emotional. It's the number one reason why people are frustrated, overwhelmed, and depressed. It's time to break the cycle. You deserve it. See, even with all of this, I'm having an opportunity to share with you. If I didn't do the practice, I could not spit off words and concepts and understandings with you if I didn't take time every day, throughout the day, and enjoy what I'm doing. It's time for you to learn how to love all of you, not just the money in the bank, because that's not you. That's just what you've made, not just what you show up to look like, but to feel good on the inside. So what you look like on the outside is in harmony and agreement on the inside. And you can begin to say, you know what? I've been able to lessen my intake of medications, or I no longer have these migraine headaches because I took the next step and took a course that changed my life forever, that allowed me to see that I did not have to treat stress and anxiety and depression as normal. It's not normal. It doesn't feel good. It's not good to you. And it tears up the organs. And so many people leave here early because we ignore the signs of our heart palpitations or the pains in the lower part of our bodies, and organs are breaking down. And people are having heart attacks. Oh my gosh. I just read a story of a dear friend who I have contact with consistently, but they never told me this. Their 11-year-old son had a stroke. And because they have the personal support system and the professional support system, their son had thrown up and he got up and he couldn't walk. So the mother called her sister, who was a nurse, and she says, get him to the hospital immediately. And when they got him to the hospital and said they had a stroke, he's like, he's 11. He gets on the trampoline every day. He's very active, and they couldn't figure out. So sickness and disease has no age. We used to think that because you were older, you were wiser. We see some of the 50, 60, 70-year-olds acting like children. It's because of stress and trauma and drama in our lives. And this is the key component. I leave nothing else with you today. Remember this: stress shrinks the brain. I'm going to say it again. If you're constantly in stress, you can't think straight, operate straight, and stay straight. Why? Because it's shrinking the matter, the brain matter, and the frontal cortex of your brain. And there's so many ways to be able to process through stress. But once again, if you don't make yourself a priority every day and have some tools in place to refresh yourself, renew yourself, regenerate yourself, then you are going to continue to experience the lower levels of emotions. Your emotions were built, designed by the Almighty God to take you higher, not lower. So I am Eliza Carter, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. I'm not in my usual space because I was traveling, and I just wanted to stop by and say, listen to your heart. It has a rhythm of its own. And if it's missing beats, you really don't know it. Because how many times do you check your blood pressure? Although I've been off of high blood pressure medications over 10 years, I still check my pressure. I don't take my good health for granted. I'm very serious about my exercise, my mental exercise, as well as my physical exercise. You cannot watch TV all day, or you cannot, whether you're a business owner or not, scroll down Instagram, TikTok. Guess what I did? I did a favor for myself last year. I literally deleted apps that took up too much mental time for me. And TikTok had to go first. Although there's great information on TikTok will have you TikToking half the day. And you get stuck in these black holes of time and you wonder, where did my time go? I was on TikTok. I was on Instagram. I was on Facebook. I was on LinkedIn. I was on Clubhouse. I literally have gotten to a space now where I only make a certain amount of time available to get on social media, because my other time is spent singing and dancing and putting together a retreat that's coming on June the 3rd. And also spending time with my family, taking walks and just doing the things that I really love to do. and no longer be over inundated by the mind boggling, stressful things that we see on the internet. Every single day, I know somebody was murdered. I know every single day the fight, flight, and freeze syndrome hits my heart. And I've got to do what I need to do, pull out a new tool, pull out an old tool, but make sure that I get rid of the tension that built up in the moment, because that's where the refreshing release comes. Year after year after year, we have built up our toxins and the tension in the body, and it has to go somewhere. And where does it go? It stays stuck in the body. It stays stuck in the heart. Remember, you have choices when it comes to stress and depression and trauma. And as a whole, people of color, we've been traumatized and we've not healed. And it's your responsibility to heal yourself, that your children could be healed, that your grandchildren could be healed. Every day you have choices to allow the same cycles of life to take you down a rabbit hole. You know how times you get so upset and get pissed off, you got so mad. It takes a while to get rid of all that. And it seems like it went somewhere that it left you. But let something else show up like a trigger. Later on, it takes you back up to that same high level of anger and disappointment and frustration. And when you're constantly upset, guess what happens? You don't sleep good. You don't think well in stressful situations. And you simply don't understand the long-term effects of stress, shrinking the brain. They're reporting on the research that I've been seeing lately that those of us who've come out of the pandemic, or the pandemic, however you choose to call it, if you don't have any self-care practices in place that are effective, dementia and Alzheimer's will be the number one disease. And can you imagine allowing anger and frustration and racism to run your mind to the point where you find out that you're forgetting things constantly? You're forgetting things that seem so easy to do that you normally did. That's the beginning signs of dementia. You're thinking, you're in a conversation, you completely go blank. That's serious. You can no longer ignore the signs and symptoms that show up in your mind, in your body. You put your hand on your heart and it's racing. You're like, wow, I wasn't even upset. Your heart has all the memory it needs to have. Your subconscious mind reminds you of what's happening. So go to thebreathingexperience.com and you find out what is stressing you. I even explain a little bit about what burnt out is. A lot of us are burnt out and don't even realize it. You struggle every morning to get up. You struggle with certain situations. You know that you're not properly taking care of yourself. And you have fears that you continue to ignore. Well, I can tell you that you can ignore it, but it doesn't make it go away. It's your choice and how you choose to live out the rest of your life. But if something I've said has resonated with you, visit thebreathingexperience.com. It's your time to elevate, to heal, and to live the quality of life and thinking that you're proud of, that you're happy about, that you deserve, because you deserve the best. Do you believe it? Are you willing to put the work in and watch things get easier in how you process through life and accomplish much more than you ever could imagine? Because when you can manage your emotions, you can manage your life effectively. When you can manage your breath, you experience life on a higher, greater, more magnificent level of thinking, doing, being, and having the best that life has to offer, because you deserve it. I know I do. And I work towards it all the time.
I tell you, Liza, you have really rocked the audience today. That's why we just say, hey, look, let her have this the Liza show today, honey. Please take care. When technology try to mess up, everybody say, I can do this. We can challenge this.
Wow.
Thank you so very much. But one of the things you did not do, you did not give them an exercise. You did not allow them to breathe and let them feel all the greatness that your company have in store for them. So do you want to take them through to a quick exercise, and then we can get back to more discussion, because I have some questions for you from the audience.
I want to do something a little different because people expect me to do a breath.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to do a little tapping. That's another one of my tools.
Okay.
And what I love about the tapping is it really releases an energy from you.
Okay.
And allows your body just to come into agreement with harmony. And
Okay.
we always talk about right here.
Okay.
I don't hear people talk about the third eye, but this is some of our insight right here. And when you tap here lightly, in between the eyebrows, you can feel a different energy when you close your eyes. You see different colors. You see the energy shifting. It could be black in one place, white in another place, gold or yellow. I mean, it's amazing. This right here, guess what? You stop thinking about all your problems, all your concerns, and you just enjoying the moment. That's the beauty of the soul care system that I have in place.
Oh, that feels
Relaxing the body, it's telling the mind, rest a moment. Everything is going to be all right. Heart, settle down. Come in harmony with all the other organs and lift them up. And relax. And when you open your eyes, you feel different.
Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you something. Whoa. You are not going to just do that and we don't talk about that. Let me tell you. I started paying attention to how I was breathing. My heart rate seemed like it was going down. I got more focused. My shoulders would start drooping. It was like I was tapping, and it was like, okay, calm down. And then my body got limp, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, just this.
Yeah.
You're not holding your breath. You're like,
you're telling your body in a command that's sweet and in harmony. Rest yourself, relax, release, let it go. Enjoy this moment that is so precious.
oh my goodness. You see what that couple of seconds have done?
A couple of seconds.
You can do this throughout the day. And stop being at the computer, like you said, all day long. Get grinder. Stop. Go somewhere and be able to use these techniques. But I just go to the audience. You must reach out. How do they reach out to you, to your company, to your programs? Because we cannot leave with feeling what you just gave us these few seconds and not tapping into the rest of it now.
Yeah, I teach you how to do it throughout the whole body. And I'm telling you, it's like you can go get a massage and then give your own self a massage. I used to be a junkie for massages. And since I learned how to tap, I'm certified in tapping.
Okay.
It's emotional freedom tapping is what it's called. And it's a technique. And so it's part of the soul care system. I give you 4 different ways, not just the breath work, the tapping, and the other 2 I'm not even going to tell you about. You have to take the course.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's on sale right now for I won't even give prices. I'll just tell you this. This deal that you got right now for the course, it won't last past Sunday.
Okay, how do we get it? How do we do it? How do we get this deal?
Get to thebreathingexperience.com and click on courses. It will take you right there. Yes. And if you're looking to go a little deeper and you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, I have 2 spots open. And you can still go to thebreathingexperience.com and fill out the contact page.
Okay.
and you'll get a free complimentary session, and it will be so invigorating. I don't just leave you with doing a regular assessment. I leave you with something to move on with, because I never know if it's the last time I see somebody. I want to make sure I impact everybody I see with the opportunities that are given to me at the very moment, because that's what's most important, that I've come and done what I'm supposed to do.
You know, we have one of your past videos that we're going to show. Yes, Mark, we want to show that because, you know, there's nothing like visual. And we're looking to bring back more of your videos to incorporate, whether you are here or not. We want to be able to leverage what you have to the world. We want the world to see what you have. So we're looking for you to send Mark some, and in between our shows, we're going to
I will
leverage that.
definitely do that. I have actually a shoot coming April the 1st. And so I will definitely get you the new video.
Yeah, send it to Mark. And
Yeah.
between my shows for commercials, we can do that because everybody needs to experience what you
Yes.
have. So, Mark, if you can, if you have time, we would like to experience her video that her company has produced for the world to enjoy.
Thank you. Greetings of peace and self-harmony. Did you know being vulnerable to someone to help you clarify, strategize, and work out those blind spots could be the quickest way for you to step into a greater, more rewarding and fulfilling lifestyle? Ask me how I know. Each day that we waste pondering and thinking and trying to decide, do we need a therapist, a coach, or a life strategist, is simply wasting time. Why? Because no one knows their life clock. I am Eliza Dukes Carter, CEO and founder of the Breathing Experience Movement, a coaching program. I would love to help you decide, do you need a therapist, a coach, or a life strategist? Let's connect. Schedule a call with me now, because each day is precious and it matters, and you deserve to have the clarity, the plan, and the amazing experiences that life holds just for you. Talk to you soon, and thanks for listening.
Oh my goodness. That's what I did. Stay in the chair all day long and let you talk to me. I went swimming today, and as I came back, I went over to the whirlpool and I rolled up a towel and I was sitting in the whirlpool, so nice and warm, cozy. And I don't know if I felt the sleep or not, but I tell you, I was so relaxed. So when it stopped, someone said, "You want me to turn it back on because you are really enjoying it." I was just so like, oh, like
and you deserve to have as much as you want. Yeah.
Nothing was in my brain. I was at that time, I was just like meditating on absorbing the freshness, the quietness, the still, even with people around, it was that moment of peace. It was like an unspeakable peace that I, for that moment, my whole body felt like all was one at one time. I did, and I was like, was I asleep? Did I fall asleep? But it was just so peaceful because my mind was just like drifting, and I was like, "Am I going to sleep? Am I going to sleep?" But couldn't take it. Was like a drift, and I learned a lot from you from just that those exercises you give with breathing. It's just like get still, be still.
Yes.
Feel the moment where you are right now.
Yes. I love it.
Don't talk. Slow down and feel the moment. Feel yourself breathing. Feel yourself being relaxed. And it was just the softness of the whole process that you give people just doing one simple 30-second exercise I do.
Mhm.
From the tapping here to the breathing to the calmness. And as business owners, we have so much going on. Like I said, you have your family, you have your career, you have your job, you have your children, you have your community involvement. You're stretching, you're stretching, you're stretch, but you don't take time just to say, you know what, I need to sit here and be quiet. I need to be still. And for us to have kids in the car, we trying to do all of this, it is great to just pull over and say, I need everyone to put their phone down. I don't need anything going, and I need a moment. But they too would benefit when they see, oh, wow, mama is stressed. So let us be quiet. I need everybody to be quiet. Taking that time to pull over and park, turn the car off, and have everybody be still. It's the difference in you having road rage, showing up somewhere so frustrated,
Mhm.
someone cutting in front of you, getting so all that tension is running, 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 running. And
Yeah,
what you teach people is stop right now,
absolutely.
move yourself out of that.
Mhm.
And what we are saying as parents is we got to get them there. You late anyway. 5 more minutes ain't gonna make no
Just the
difference.
5 more minutes gonna make you feel super good and ready for whatever shows up the next 5 minutes.
Mhm. Another point you said, disconnect from all this technology.
Mhm.
Disconnect from all that TV. Stop sleeping with the phone by your bed. When you get up, you don't even reach for a glass of water. You reach for the phone.
Mhm.
What could possibly have happened at nighttime that would require you to stroll on Facebook? When you were saying that, you were saying you start your morning not even getting your organs together. So that's what you were saying to us. You started your morning without even getting your organs together. So I like that point, what you were saying. I did. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sharon, because it's very important. We're in a critical time. We're going into the summer. People are exploding all over the place. We know the arguments that we have with our own family members, and the stuff that we're just watching all over the place. So we
Mm-hmm.
know people are highly tensed. They can flip off at a moment, and uh, it's never going to change until you change how you process through stress for yourself. And then that will help those around you. And that's the beauty of
Yeah.
taking action and doing a course and having a lifetime subscription to the course. So you can go back and revisit as many times as it takes for you to master some of the skill sets that you need in order to say, you know what? I'm no longer upset with that person. I actually forgive myself. I actually let this go. It actually
Mm-hmm.
feels good to feel good.
I love that. It's feel good to feel good. I want you to leave the audience with some parting um, words of wisdom for they can ponder tonight and may not even turn their TV on or that technology so they can be free.
Okay. I want people to think about this. I'm going to say, not people, I'm going to say this to you who's watching and listening. When
Okay.
you get into bed tonight, I want you to lay on your back and take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, do you feel really healthy? Are you allowing stress and situations to rule your emotions? And how long are you going to allow yourself to feel unhealthy, unhappy, and unsatisfied because you've not learned how to release the anger, the frustration, and the emotional overload that you've been carrying far too long? See, the body was designed to heal itself, but you need the tools to do so. So as you ask yourself this, if the answer is yes, I'm ready to shift. I'm ready to let go of some of the things that I've allowed. Because we have a choice in this matter that you've allowed to hold you. I'm not saying it's not painful, it's not hurting, because those are natural emotions and they really do hurt. We really are disgusted with some things in our lives, but you don't have to stay connected to the pain of the disgust, because that's what keeps us in this cycle of unhappiness and not reaching your full potential that you really deserve and you really. So ask yourself, what do I really want to do to change and experience more peace in my heart, more calmness in my mind, more happiness in my soul, and more healing in my life? And if you want some of this, let's connect.
Well, I want to thank you.
Joyce.
Oh, thank you for joining us. And we have so many great comments from people about this, about what you have been gifted with and the talent that you bring to this environment. And we will have her back this year in 2023, because I am expecting great things from her. And like I said, you got to stay following to learn them. And I can't wait, because it's going to rock the whole world. Mark, Eliza, and I want to thank you. We just thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. And I want to say a shout out to Renee and Mary for making comments. That means that you're ready. Let's connect. I'm here for you. Show up on the other side, showing your family, listen, that ain't stressing me no more. Saying to yourself, you know what? I'm ready to do this or that or the other, because you know why? I feel good about myself, and I know how to shift out of these negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions anytime and anywhere I want. That's the place you want to be at. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eliza. Have a fantastic night and weekend. Drive safe, and we will see you very soon, everyone. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Thanks.